Hi everyone, it is me, Uranus, or Sailor Skyworld. Amara here, and and today we're gonna talk about, was it right, for Deke or Cloverway to shift, or anyone who is Unstraight. Nowadays, a lot of folks out there would think that, that it was hating on them, or not giving them any onlook. Well, first off, the mindset and the stand of the folks of the day was that if you had anyone who was unstraight and it was a film, show, or play for children, then you could not do that. Even if there wasn't going to be anything wrong with it, you couldn't do it. I mean, there were some bold folks back in the day who did it and then got scathed for it afterwards. It's not like today where the mindset and stand where a lot more folks are open-minded about folks being unstraight and also learning about what it means to be unstraight. Then and nowadays the mindset and stand was not as it was back then. It wasn't like it was a so Deke did not want to be in that bind where someone might say, well, you're not going to watch that show. Now that may hurt Deke in their watch time or looking time they were hoping to get. It might harm the folk work, if it be UPN or WB at the time. But the show wouldn't have been a no-go then. It would have still gone on. But there are some folks that go way above, not telling their children not what they want them to watch and not to watch. They might feel that somehow to get a hold of, UPN or WB and tell them that they didn't like, what they saw. That they had watched a drawing show, where there were two unstraight folks in it. And then they would have put enough, and if enough folks put enough squeeze on the leadership of UPN and WB at the time, they might tell Deke that Sailor Moon's a no-go. So that's why Deke had to shift Zoisite into a woman. And that's right, folks. In Deke and Cloverway's world, Zoisite was a woman. I'm sorry if that goes against all the other takes, but that's how it was. And that's why Deke had to shift Zoisite to a woman. Now, that was the only time Deke had to deal with it. But Cloverway had to deal with it 2 more times. By the Freediff following, when Sarah Neptune, Sailor SeaWorld, Michelle, and myself showed up, Sarah Uranus, Sailor Skyworld, Cloverway would have been in the same bind that Deke would have been. Even though by that time it was 2000 YL, wouldn't have made a big deal. The mindset and stand of the folks would have still been the same at that time. Now, I don't know what Cloverway could have done, but they chose to make us near kin. That both our mothers and fathers knew each other, that we happened to be around each other growing up, so we had this near bond to each other. And that was what they went with. Scave it if you will, but that's what Cloverway went with. I know a lot of folks out there don't like that, but that was what was done. By the 4th and last following, Cloverway had to deal with Fisheye, who, in Cloverway's world, was a woman. Now I know this goes against her or him and all the other takes of Sailor Moon, but in Cloverway's world, Fisheye was a woman. Really, all they needed to do was just to have some woman to speak for him or her, and it would work out. Now, I know some of you folks out there might say, well, why did Viz didn't have to do any of that? Well, by the time Viz got the rights to work with Sailor Moon, the mindset, the stand, the trusting, the understanding, the learning, had shifted. Not fully, but it had shifted at least enough where having unstraight folks in a drawing show or on a show, film, or play for children was seen to be alright. And that's why all Viz had to do was put it in English. That's why they didn't have to skim anything like Deke did and later on Cloverway did, or was it Pioneer? A lot of folks out there seem to think that it should have not been done, that Deke and Cloverway should have just left it as it is. Yeah. And then have folks get angry at UPN and WB and later on USA and Cartoon for seeing something in a drawing show that they didn't like and thought that it was wrong and was fought to gotten it taken off every Farsi or folk work they had a broadcast deal with. So I'm not here saying it was right, but I'm telling you that's why it was done. If you like this film, then follow me over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, share, and playlist this film. And watch the other film I made yesterday over here, where Sailor Pluto, and Sailor Underworld made her backyard film. And if you are new, don't forget to also hit that button and ringer to let you know when the next upload, live stream, or short's been done. Give us your thoughts on this. I, Sailor Uranus, Sailor Skyworld, Amara, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. Farewell.